Hey, what is up guys, it is SilverSun here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a review on the Dragon Ball Super episode 40. Alright, so basically Goku and Hit are still going at it. Pretty much everything's breaking apart, everyone's flying off into outer space almost until Vados and Whis pretty much fix the barrier around the tournament, the stage arena, and basically they're hitting Goku are standing on top of like little pictures of Beerus and Whis. I mean, not Beerus and Whis, Beerus and Champa, essentially. And they're pretty much just like talking about each other, saying like, "Oh, you're really strong and stuff like that. I dodged your attack. I keep improving and whatnot." It's basically what Hit's saying, and pretty much Goku's like, this is really exciting. Universe 6 has lots of amazing, great fighters, and now I get to fight the strongest out of all of them. And so basically, they fly towards each other, and they do like a little bro fist essentially, and they pretty much back up and they start powering up. Basically, they're going at it pretty much, going in left and right and whatnot, and then essentially hits pretty much like ahead of Goku's Kaioken technique, his to Tokyo Bashi or time leap technique is pretty much exceeding Goku, and he pretty much starts doing a combo on him, and then he kind of like, he almost knocks him out. He knocks him out of his Kaioken form, but then Goku stops, and then he goes right back into it, and he pretty much does something that was similar, I remember, from the Resurrection of S Saga, where he punched Frieza, and then Frieza went flying. He pretty much did the same thing to Hit. He pretty much flew back into the Champa picture, the statue, and then pretty much Champa's like freaking out, like thinking, oh, what's happening and whatnot, why is my team losing? And pretty much, Hit and Goku are basically tired at this point. They're huffing and puffing, and they're pretty much on the ground, pretty much just panting. And then they start to stagger up and start standing up until pretty much Goku declares that they changed the rules of the tournament, basically letting them, be able to kill each other so that then Hit can go all out and use his full potential on him. But basically at this point, Goku's Kaioken technique is pretty much taking a toll on him. His aura is kind of like diminishing, like it's breaking down a little bit by bit, essentially. And then pretty much, Champa thinks that's a good idea for them to, change the rules and whatnot. But basically, Beerus and Champa kind of start arguing about it and whatnot, and then pretty much Hit says to Goku like, we're just pawns in this little tournament. It doesn't really like matter. This is kind of stupid. And so Goku pretty much agrees, and he says like, oh, I hope we can like fight again, without all this commotion and like, all these rules and whatnot. And so basically Goku walks over to the edge of the ring, and he pretty much out of bounds himself basically. And then, after he does that, Champa and Bruce like surprised about it. They're like, "Oh, why'd you do that for?" and stuff like that. But then Goku pretty much like he goes out of his Kaioken state. He pretty much gives Hit a thumbs up basically, and then he starts like his muscles start like spasming out, and pretty much he like drops to the ground. He's like just like messed up, from using the Kaioken and whatnot. And so basically Piccolo comes over and he pretty much just like helps him, back to his seat and whatnot. And then pretty much Beerus is like angry. He's like, "Oh, why'd you ring out?" and stuff like that. That was a stupid idea. And then pretty much Goku's like, "Oh, it's fine. We still have Monaka. He's pretty much the strongest one out of this whole team." And then Whis is pretty much like sarcastically saying, "Oh yeah, that's right," and whatnot. But pretty much, as we should know by now, Monaka's basically a fraud, and so pretty much he's just like shaking in his boots. He's like very nervous to go up against Hit and whatnot. And then pretty much Goku's like turning him on, saying like, "Oh, you can do it, Monaka. You got this." And then pretty much he like jumps into the ring, like he does like a little front flip, but then he falls flat on his face, essentially. And then Goku's like still excited about it. He's like he can't wait to see what Monaka can do against Hit. And pretty much Monaka's like still scared. He's like almost about to cry or whatnot. And then pretty much Hit's just like staring at him the whole time. And then basically Champa rings the bell, and then Monaka like does like one punch to like his knee, and then he kind of like just stands there for a second, and then he flies out of the ring, you know, and then he hits out of bounds, and pretty much he's disqualified, and Monaka wins some way, somehow. I'm pretty sure that was just because, he didn't want to fight in the tournament anymore. He kind of thought it was, like, stupid, so I think that's probably the reason why he just wrung himself out, kind of similar to Goku, I guess. But yeah, pretty much Champa sees this and pretty much he's angry at it and pretty much it's saying like, oh, I don't need that cube of yours anymore, just take me home. And then pretty much Champa's like very angry at his team. He's like, oh, you guys are terrible at this, you lost on purpose and whatnot. And pretty much he's like getting ready to kill them essentially. And then Goku sees this and he's like getting worried. He's thinking that he should help, but then Beerus is like, no, don't interfere, with all this. If he wants to kill him, then let him, do his thing essentially. But then before Champa can, do anything to them, pretty much Vados and Whis tell both of them like, hey, someone appeared in the ring, and then pretty much Champa and Beerus look down. They see like this guy. I believe his name's Zeno, or maybe that's his race. That's what it's called. But pretty much he's like the god of everything, and that's basically where the episode ends, essentially. And from what I saw in the preview, it was kind of crazy. They used like the the Super Dragon Balls, pretty much, and then this big like golden like I don't know. It kind of reminds me of, like something from like Digimon or like Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that. Like some other like crazy anime with like dragons in it and whatnot, something like that basically. But yeah, it looks like a really crazy like godly like dragon. Basically, it's all golden and big and whatnot. And he has like little universes inside of it and whatnot. I think it looks really cool. Other than that, I thought the animation of this episode was pretty good, for what it was and whatnot. It wasn't terrible or anything like that, but it wasn't. I have to say, well, no, I think it's like about even with the last episode. It's getting kind of consistent now, and pretty much, and I guess this kind of ends off. Well, not just yet, but it's like at least the tournament itself is over. Pretty much, this saga is kind of wrapping up here, and I'm really excited to find out what happens in the next episode, especially with that Zeno guy, being there, him being the god of everything or the king of everything, however you want to go about it. But yeah, I just can't wait to see if he's like a good guy, if he's a bad guy. I mean, he seems like a good guy, off of first impressions and whatnot, but you know how that goes in Dragon Ball Z. Some people, like looks can be deceiving, like how, at first Monaka was hyped up and whatnot to be like this all powerful guy and whatnot, and then obviously that turned out to be false and whatnot. But yeah, just pretty much tell me what you guys thought of this episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? I know that I liked it. It was pretty good. It was kind of funny at times, but it was really like nice to see how all this kind of wrapped up in the end. And I hope that we see these characters more often. I'm pretty sure we will because they're still not going off of this whole like you know um God thing essentially. Well, I mean, I couldn't imagine them doing that, but yeah, I just can't wait to see what happens, like going off to these different universes and whatnot, the story's pretty much expanding right now, obviously, and I just can't wait to see what happens next. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys, and until the next one, Silver Sun is out, guys.